When you light off as many fireworks as I do, things are bound to go wrong at some point. With that said, it's actually surprising how many things have gone right over the years. I've really never had any mishaps with videos, minus a couple fireworks shows not firing the right way. But today's video is going to be an example that things can go wrong. So obviously I wanted to get this video out much sooner for Great Lakes mortar racks. You guys probably heard me talking about how I wanted to try this thing with the hurricane rack. Well, what ended up happening was, before we could even get to those bigger racks at the end, there was a huge fire that started at the gravel pit, which luckily, because I have water extinguishers, I was able to put that out without the fire department. But here's the thing. The reason that fire started was because it was way too windy to be doing canister shells in the first place. Now, even though we're at the gravel pit, you guys always hear me talk about how far those embers can actually travel. And this is what ultimately happened, and because of that, we couldn't even finish the video. So without any further ado, here are some of the Great Lakes mortar racks that worked. I would have loved to have just picked this up on another day. But the issue is, because it was so windy and I couldn't get back the next day, I had to cut all the wires, so I'm out like $300 in igniters too. Anyway, I hope you guys enjoy this video. Today, I'm gonna be telling the fireworks what to do. I love having the ability to make fireworks bend to my will. And all of these canister shells are gonna do exactly what I tell them to. I guarantee you guys have never seen canister shells fired like this before. What's going on, everyone? It's CodyBPyrotechnics, and today we've got every single mortar rack that I ordered from GreatLakesMortarRacks.us loaded up with things like canister shells. I got a bunch of 200-gram cakes here loaded into their firework cake rack. And we've got 5 of the Intimidator Roman candles, some of the best I've seen, 140 shots each in their very own barrage Roman candle rack. Now you might notice there is one rack missing, and that would be the CodyBPyrotechnics unhinged rack. It is a 24 shot mortar rack, much like you see here, same quality, but it unfolds into this really long line, and then you can do entire 24 kits of canister shells fused on the top and get them to fire one at a time. These racks, however, are a little bit different, so we're gonna show you what they do. So you'll have to excuse me, it's a little bit windy out here, but basically I went into Cobra Show Creator and I scripted out this entire thing. So I've made sure that each one of these canister shells fires at the time that I want it to. And that is only possible with the use of igniters and a firing system like you see here. So if you already have those things, then you'll be able to replicate everything I do in this video on your own. I'm trying to crouch here out of the wind, but the first thing I have firing on the script is the 200-gram cakes, which are going to be right over there. The second thing that fires is the Intimidator Roman candle rack, and as you can see, they all fire at 4 minutes and 30 seconds. So every single one of those Roman candles should fire at the same time. Now right here is where it starts to get interesting. So let's go ahead and find the Mayhem rack. Okay, so this is the Mayhem. As you can see, we have left and right shooting canister shells just like this. And I wanted to do a V effect with these. So on the Mayhem rack, you can see at 7:30, I have 2 shells firing, and that is gonna look like this. So the shell is gonna come out of this tube here, and this one at the same time. I didn't really know how much delay to give it, so I just gave it 2 seconds. It's gonna be a really quick rack, but then as you can see, another 2 shells fire at 7:32. So every 2 seconds, we're gonna get a V effect up in the air. Now, I seriously cannot think of a better name for this rack than Chaos. Just look at it. It's got these 2 appendages there on the back that both have 3 tubes in them. Now, with the Chaos rack, I wanted to do something a little different. So as you can see, the first 2 shells fire at 10:30, and then there's a 1 second delay in between every other shell in the rack. But I didn't want these to fire in a V because we're already gonna see that on the Mayhem. So what I did this time is I made this shell and this shell fire at the same time. So we're gonna have 2 shells to the right and 2 shells to the left all the way throughout the rack. And then at the very end here, you can see I wrote Chaos Finale, and all of those shells fire at 10:38. 6 shells in total are gonna come out of those 2 appendages there on the back at the exact same time. Also, I just wanna show you guys something here. It is 92 degrees outside, and by 6 p.m., it's supposed to be 97. So this is my little area that I'm gonna be setting up in. I'm kind of using my pickup as cover so I can be in the shade while I'm hooking these things up. Unfortunately, it's extremely hot out, and what happens when it's hot? Well, the cameras don't work. So unfortunately, I will not be able to get you guys a time lapse, like I usually do when I'm setting up firework displays, but we will get back to you as soon as everything is hooked up and ready to go. Well, as you can see, I finished everything up. Look at this absolute mess of wires here. I'm probably gonna have to like tangle all these together and put a giant brick down there, because I would hate for one of these shells to rip one wire out and take the rest with it, thus killing the fireworks shell. Hopefully that doesn't happen, but as you can see, everything is set up, and I will see you guys when it gets dark enough out to shoot these off. Okay, we got everything ready to go here. We're gonna start with these 4 200-gram cakes here. So when I push one, it should start. There we go. Okay, we're gonna step to the next one. This is Pulse Pounder by Winda. Oh no. Just lost the tripod. Super windy out here. All right, we're back in business. Hopefully that tripod doesn't blow over again. As a matter of fact, I'm gonna bring it closer. This should be our last cake. All right, now we're gonna step it again to get to the Intimidator Roman candles. This is all 5 of them. Little straggler. Okay, next up we're doing our first rack of canister shells. This is Mayhem, and these should be firing in a V pattern. Oh yeah. That's a good pace. Wow. Moving on, we have the Chaos rack. These are gonna go 2 left and 2 right. I think I'm a little bit too far away from these. Wow. Yeah.